Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will see one new topic in software testing, that is about principles of software testing. So there are 7 principles which a QA or a tester need to follow in performing the software testing activities. There are: testing shows presence of defects, exhaustive testing is not possible, early testing, defect clustering, pesticide paradox, testing is context dependent, absence of errors, fallacy. So these are the 7 principles which we have. So we will see about them in detail now. The first one is testing shows presence of defects. Testing can show the defects are present but cannot prove that there are no defects. Testing reduces the probability of undiscovered defects remain in the software. But even if no defects are found, it is not proof of correctness. So it means testing can show the presence of defects. It means it cannot prove the system is defectless. So here we are just performing the activity of testing to identify any problems or the issues or any defects in the machine. So we are just certifying the system that is defect free, but it cannot tell this customer or the subscriber or the owner that it is not completely a error-free product. Next one is exhaustive testing is not possible. So why we are saying exhaustive testing is not possible means, for example, if you are working with a registration portal, for example in this case I have chosen this IRCTC portal. So there are many fields which a new subscriber need to configure, or a new person who wants to create their account, they need to fill the details of basic details, personal details, address details and everything. So each field contains lot of combinations of data. Suppose if you are seeing this username, suppose if I enter any value like this, suppose it has a validation as between the characters 3 to 35, and it should have, and the password and the confirm password, these have all their conditions. And in the same way we have different set of questions and many information available in the personal data, like some of these are the mandatory fields. So exhaustive testing of each and every field is not possible. For example, if you take the case of user ID, so we can validate this with the help of the condition whatever they mention here, like using the characters between 3 and 35. So we can create some boundary values, and based on the boundaries we will build some test data, and we use the data in the test field and we will validate whether the field is accepting the data or not, and which combinations it is not possible. I mean, so the letters with 3 or more characters and which are between 35. So all kind of combinations are not possible, and it is time taking process to check each and every value whether that field is accepting or not. So that is what we are saying here. Testing everything, all combinations of input and conditions is not feasible, so except for the trivial conditions. So why we are saying the trivial conditions is like for example, if you go to the personal details, so this is one of the mandatory field. And if you go to the address fields, so here we have some of the conditions that are mandatorily required for creating the account in the IRCTC portal. Okay, so we just need to concentrate on the important things, and which covers the most of the functionality of your applications, irrespective of working on the different combinations in an exhaustive way. Okay, early testing. So what early testing means is, so beginning the testing activities in your software development cycle as early as possible, so that we can reduce the error rate in our codes, and as well as we can easily build a good quality product. So each tester should begin the process once he or she get the requirements from the product owner or business analyst. So once they go through the requirements, they can build an idea, so how to create the test cases, or they can have some knowledge on the domain, or what are the changes or what are the kinds of testing they need to perform. So they can identify, and if there are any issues in the requirement, so they can directly inform the business analyst or product owner, so thereby they can communicate with the dev team, so before they completely build the complete software. So instead of verifying and validating once the build come to the tester, so if you inform them or if you escalate the problems what you noticed, then it is easier for you and for the organization to make it cost effective, and many other factors can impact if you identify the issues as early as possible. So defect clustering means a small number of modules contains most of the defects discovered during pre-release testing or show the most operational features. So there is one rule called Pareto rule. So it says 80% of defects can be identified in 20% of the module of work or of this system. So it means some small part of codes, if we are having the development task going on, so most of the issues will occur on certain part of module. So these cause some of the most operational features or many kind of issues. Next thing is pesticide paradox. Pesticide paradox in general sense, for suppose if you go to any farmer, so they maintain the crop in the way like so there will be some gap between one crop to another crop, or they grow other crop in between one crop to another crop, so to avoid the pest. In the same way, so we have one phenomena called pesticide paradox in our testing cycle as well. If you have any application, for suppose if you go to the IRCTC portal, so we have one screen called login screen. So here, let me open this login. So now we have two sections, username and password. So now we just, as a beginner, we just provide some valid username and passwords, just like a normal ABCD and password as 1 2 3. So we give without knowing anything about conditions or prerequisite for satisfying the username. So after 2 or 3 cycles, based on the security team raises the issues over the logins or maybe any other issues, they tell the developer to keep some restrictions. So like having the special characters or having some numerics in the username should only accept the username, and it should allow to user to log into the system. So these kind of conditions, so this dev team is going to develop. And if you are using the same test cases which you have used earlier with the same set of test data like ABC and 1 2 3, so this time our system will pass, but sometimes once it goes to the production, if it is not satisfying the conditions of having the data of alphanumerics and the symbols, so that time it will raise a big issue in the production. And if it is a banking production issues, means it will be a very costly defect to the organizations or the company. There may be chance of you will get some escalations about those issues, as you are the responsible person who certifies that defect, and so this will impact in the production day. So next thing is testing is context dependent. So testing is done differently in different dependent contexts. For example, so health insurance software is tested differently from an e-commerce site. Okay, you can see the difference, right? So health insurance mainly contains the claims department, enrollment department, or other kind of department, pharmacy department, Medicaid. So a lot of departments are there. And whereas for the e-commerce, so we'll have the inventories, so like payment, all these kind of contexts are completely different. So each tester should have some idea about a particular domain. So if he is working with the healthcare project, means he should get some knowledge, and he should be ready with following the approach of the healthcare insurance industry. And in the same way for the e-commerce tester, so he should get some knowledge on the retail or the e-commerce sites, and he should follow the approach. So both approaches will be different, and they need to implement their approaches while performing or creating or the test cases or while executing the test cases. Absence of errors is fallacy. So finding and fixing defects does not help in fallacy. The system built is unusable and does not fulfill the user's needs and expectations. So testing activity is not only identifying the defects but also ensuring the customer's needs and expectations. So why I am saying is, if you have built or if you have moved the code which is error free, so 99.9% if it is error free, and if it doesn't mean the customer expectations and needs, so it is going to be unused and it is not necessary for the users if that requirement is not met. So that's why we should have the testing activities so to check whether the product or the software is matching the exact requirements of the customer or the users. So that depends upon the complete FSD document or SRS document, so that we need to verify as well while giving the sign off to the product owner. Okay, so that's all about these software principles, and I hope you like the video. Please take the screenshot, so this can be helpful for you for future reference, or you can have a look before attending any of the interviews. So here I have mentioned some examples as well. Along with that, you can use these definitions while providing answers to your interview. Okay, that's all for this session. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.